The Galactic Council's assessment was unanimous. Humans were the most fragile species ever encountered. Their bones snapped like dried twigs. Their skin tore at the slightest provocation, and their organs failed if deprived of oxygen for mere minutes. The decision was swift. Humans would be classified as a protected species barred from any dangerous occupation in the galaxy's sprawling civilization. Ambassador Zethka of the Crystalline Hegemony had been particularly vocal in the debate. "Look at their specifications," she had declared, her translucent form shimmering with indignation. "They require a precise atmospheric mixture, constant hydration, and die if their core temperature varies by mere degrees. They are made of water and hope nothing more." The Korvaxi representative, a mountain of chitinous armor and razor-sharp mandibles, had clicked his agreement. "My species can survive in the vacuum of space for hours. These humans need artificial atmosphere just to function. They are unsuited for anything beyond administrative duties." And so it was decided. Humans would handle paperwork, cultural exchanges, and other safe activities, while the real work of the galaxy, mining operations, exploration missions, military campaigns, would be left to more durable species. Captain Sarah Chen had listened to the ruling with the kind of smile that made her crew nervous. It was the same expression she'd worn when her academy instructors said women couldn't handle deep space missions, or when the atmospheric processors on Kepler 442b had failed, and everyone assumed the human survey team was dead. "Well," she'd said to her mixed-species crew aboard the exploration vessel Defiance, "I guess we'll just have to prove them wrong the hard way." The opportunity came sooner than expected. The luxury cruise liner Serenity's Call, carrying diplomats from 17 species to the Outer Rim Peace Summit, had suffered catastrophic engine failure near the asteroid field of Zirion Prime. The vessel was breaking apart, and rescue ships were still 3 hours away. The closest ship was the Defiance, crewed primarily by those fragile humans. "Captain," Lieutenant Torres reported from the communication station, "the Serenity's Call is requesting immediate assistance. They have over 400 passengers aboard, including Ambassador Zethka and Commander Thraxi." Chen grinned. "The same Commander Thraxi who said humans couldn't handle emergency situations?" "The very same." "Well then," Chen stood, straightening her uniform. "All hands to emergency stations. We're going in?" Chief Engineer Rodriguez's voice crackled over the intercom. "Captain, the asteroid field is generating massive electromagnetic interference. Our shields will be operating at 30% efficiency, and one collision could kill us all." "Yeah," Chen interrupted. "But 400 people are about to die if we don't try. Besides, what's the worst that could happen? We're already considered too fragile to matter." The Defiance dove into the asteroid field like a needle threading through a hurricane. Massive rocks, some the size of city blocks, tumbled through space with the random violence of chaos itself. The ship's hull groaned under the strain as Chen manually piloted through gaps that other species would have deemed impossible. "Captain," Navigator Kim called out, her voice tight with concentration, "I'm reading 17 separate hull microfractures. At this rate..." The ship lurched violently as a house-sized asteroid clipped their starboard nacelle. Sparks exploded from control panels and the lights flickered ominously. "Damage report," Chen barked, fighting to keep the ship steady. "Engine efficiency down to 60%, Rodriguez reported. "And Captain, we just lost atmospheric containment in sections 7 through 12. Through the chaos, they could see the Serenity's Call ahead. A massive vessel breaking apart in slow motion, pieces of hull spinning away into the void. Escape pods dotted the space around it like scattered seeds, but many were being battered by debris. "How many can we fit?" Chen asked. "Maybe 200 if we pack them in like cargo," Torres replied. "But Captain, our life support systems weren't designed for that many non-human physiologies. The atmospheric mix alone." "Then we'll hold our breath," Chen said simply. "Prep the cargo bays. We're taking everyone." What followed was the most insane rescue operation in galactic history. The Defiance, held together by determination and duct tape, began collecting escape pods while dodging asteroids that should have pulverized them. When the cargo bays were full, Chen opened the crew quarters. When those were packed, she opened the bridge to refugees. "Captain," Zethka's crystalline voice rang with disbelief as she materialized on the bridge, her form flickering with stress. "Your ship is falling apart. How are you still alive?" Chen wiped blood from a cut on her forehead and grinned. "Spite, mostly. Plus, we're too stupid to know when to quit. The final evacuation came when the Serenity's call finally broke in half. The ship's reactor core was going critical, and the remaining escape pods were trapped in the debris field. Chen looked at the tactical display, calculated the odds, and made a decision that would have horrified any sensible being. "We're going in," she announced. "Captain," Rodriguez's voice was barely controlled panic. "If we get that close to a reactor breach, then we better be really fast." The Defiance dove directly into the expanding debris cloud, her hull screaming protests as chunks of the dying ship hammered against her weakened shields. Chen threaded the needle between massive structural beams while her crew fought to keep the ship together with their bare hands. Literally. In some cases, as Ensign Park physically held a severed power, coupling together while sparks showered around him. They collected the last 17 survivors just as the reactor went critical. The explosion that followed should have vaporized them all. Instead, the Defiance rode the shockwave like a surfer riding a tsunami, using the blast's energy to boost them clear of the asteroid field. When the rescue ships finally arrived, they found the Defiance floating dead in space. No power, no atmosphere. Hull breached in 43 places. By all logic, everyone aboard should have been dead. Instead, Captain Chen climbed out of the wreckage laughing. "Well," she said to the shocked rescue crews, "that was fun. Anyone got a cigarette?" The Galactic Council's next session was different. Ambassador Zethka stood before the assembly, her crystalline form subdued. "I hereby motion to revise our assessment of human durability," she announced. "Any species that can survive what they just survived while saving 437 lives. Perhaps fragile isn't the right word." Commander Thraxey's mandibles clicked in agreement. "I suggest we reclassify humans as creatively resilient." From the human delegation, Captain Chen raised her hand. "If I may suggest an alternative classification?" "Yes?" Chen's smile was pure mischief. "How about optimistically suicidal? It has a nice ring to it." The motion passed unanimously,